What's going on, everybody? Oh my god, I need to shave. It's Elliot Scott from ElliotScottDating.com, and today we're going to go over the harsh critic, mostly yourself. We all have a harsh critic. We all, I think, criticize ourselves the worst because we know deep down our insecurities, our problems, and of course we know who to match them against. Probably someone who we feel has everything when we have nothing, right? And I wanted to get on this topic because I think it's a very important topic to go over if you're looking to find a great mate, or to find someone who's really good for you, or to even not even about mating and finding the perfect person, but just being the best version of yourself. A lot of us criticize way too harshly, and I think it just damages our ego, our potential, and things like that. And from what I was reading online about, in forums about this stuff, people, not about criticizing, but about people criticizing themselves, is, they just keep on asking, like, how do I not do it? How do I stop it? How I hate being in my 40s, 50s, and, and just being my worst critic, just ripping myself new ones every day, talking myself down, being an energy vampire, just zapping all this energy away from me. What do I do? So I wanted to make a topic on it, or a video on it, and I'm going to tell you how I got over it, because I used to personally be a very harsh critic. Now I'm not anymore. This is back when I was maybe 20, 21. Nowadays, I'm always positive. I'm always in a good mood. I'm always chipper. I'm always, all these kind of things. So I'm going to tell you what I did. Sorry, I have a little cold. But I'm going to tell you what I did, and we'll go from there, okay? The first thing you need to do, sounds cliche as hell, but you need to have a goal, okay? You need to know where you want to go, okay? And the reason you need to do that is so you can see the difference from where you are to where you need to be. If you don't have a goal, then you're just scrambled. You're going everywhere. You're scattered. You're not laser-like focused. You need to have an aim, right? So first thing I would ask you to do is to say, what am I wanting out of this? Now, obviously, for our sake, you're wanting a relationship and you're wanting to stop criticizing yourself. So what would that, here's the thing you got to think of. What would that look like to you, right? You would say, well, I probably have more energy. I wouldn't be so low. I wouldn't have these deep thoughts in my head. I wouldn't struggle with the harsh criticism. I wouldn't have this negative self-talk, But not only that, I'd also be positive. I'll have a better vibe. I'll be happier. I'd have better body language. I'd attract better potential mates. I will have more confidence in myself to approach these potentials, right? So the first thing you want to do is have a goal in mind. You really want to have a strong, clear, concise, clean, clear, pure goal in mind on what you want. Now, the second part, I think, is the harsher part, and that's the reality, okay? Usually when you start criticizing yourself, you start to get into these negative behaviors, or maybe not even just behaviors, but just maybe actions or habits. Maybe you become an introvert. Maybe you talk negative about yourself. Maybe you push yourself away. Maybe you compare yourself too much to others. Maybe you jump into. I know a girl who used to jump into relationships all the time because she needed to feel wanted to stop criticizing herself. So the next question you need to ask is, what habit? And you have to think hard about this. Like, what habits am I doing? Or am I forming? Because your life is based on a bunch of habits. It's the small habits that dictate if you're living a good life or a bad life. And after you ask, the habits, the actions, the behaviors that you're doing, you need to ask, how's this working, or how's that working for you? How's this working for me? And the reason you want to ask that, in my opinion, is because you want to it's different if you know, like people say, you know, oh, I want to lose weight, I want to work out, I want to get a six-pack, right? But wanting is not enough. You have to actually tell yourself, you know, the actions you're doing aren't working. That's a whole different subject, right? You have to let yourself know, okay, I want this, but I'm not getting it. Why is that? Which is going to be the next thing. But, you know, these actions aren't working. And you have to actually snap your brain into thinking that. Because if you don't, again, we're all on autopilot, guys. Like we're on autopilot every single day. Everything your brain cannot, people don't understand how much the brain can and cannot do, okay? The brain is the most magnificent thing on this earth, probably in this universe. It named itself, for crying out loud, right? But, you know, there's just it has so much work to do that it goes into autopilot on a lot of these things. So when you're trying to do things like this, you know, you actually have to ask quality questions to get quality answers and to get quality results. So you really need to ask, okay, what am I, you know, how's this working for me? Okay. Another question you might want to ask is, okay, from a scale 1 to 10, where do I stand on 10 being the perfect life for me? And of course, that would be, you're gonna have a clear image. That would be, you know, the non-criticizing, the nice guy, the confidence, all that kind of stuff. Where do you stand? Let's just say hypothetically, you stand at a 5, right? Now, the next question to ask would be, why am I at a 5 and not a 4? Now, this does the same thing the previous question does, and it kind of snaps your brain to knowing, you know, okay, I'm at a 5 because of this. So I'm obviously doing something right because I'm not at a 4. If I was at a 4, I'd be this. Okay, so once you think that, then you need to think a plan of action. Okay, so you need to think, okay, I'm at a 5. What do I need to do to be at a 6? Not a 10, a 6. And the reason you want to think that is there's certain things that make someone a 6, and there's certain things that make someone a 5, okay? And there's certain things that make someone a 4. But you said you're a 4 or you're a 5, you're not a 4. Okay, and there's a reason for that. Now, what are those reasons? Same thing with being a 6. What do you have to do? Sorry. What do you have to do to be a 6 and not a 5, right? And then when you reach that, then you will go to a 7, then an 8, and you will keep going. And it's not as easy as that. I mean, the lower you are, the easier it might be because you go boom, 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 boom. But when you're like a 7 or 8 or a 9 or something like that, it's gonna get harder and harder to go up because you're already if you're a fucking 9, you're already the shit. It's gonna take something to get you to a 10, right? So you need to ask yourself, what do I need to do to become a 6? And then finally, the last question is, you know, what am I gonna do to hold accountability? It's easy to make a goal, right? It's easy to make a goal, to make a plan of action, but not having no accountability. You have to do something. Now, I don't know what you would personally do, but I know accountable goals are much stronger goals. A lot of people like to go public with it, but I don't think you want to go public with those kind of things. So if you have to, you can message me and tell me that you're going to do something. ElliotScottServices@gmail.com. You can email me there if you have to. Or actually, I prefer you leave a comment below and tell everybody what you're doing or what you're not doing, or just let people know that you're taking a positive action, right? You're taking a positive action. You need some accountability. Or hey, get a life coach. Get a if you want to be if you want to work on your body, maybe not even maybe you're just criticizing yourself because you don't feel great about yourself. Get a personal trainer and ask your personal trainer to hold you accountable for these things. That's the reason I'm originally a personal trainer, and I would hire a personal trainer because of accountability. Even that's what people don't understand. Even when you specialize in something, you still have those problems. Okay, so I would even go. I'm a personal trainer, and I do not like working out all the time. So I would go and talk to a personal trainer and have them push me. I want to learn the piano. I know I'm not going to learn it unless I take lessons, and I get that person, my teacher, to hold me accountable for it. Okay, so that's the things you need to do. You need to ask or you need to figure out the goal. You need to figure out your reality on where you stand right now and how it's working for you. You need to have a plan of action, and then you need to have something accountable. Now, when you do all those things, humans are happiest when they progress in life, okay? It's not actually when they reach the goal, it's when they progress. That's because that's when they grow, that's when they become something on the journey. Now, I know you probably heard that before, but it's true, okay? Science has proved this over and over and over again. You're going to stop criticizing yourself when you see improvement. Usually when people criticize themselves, it's when they're stagnant. They're frozen. They're not going anywhere. They're in that maybe rat race, okay? Like you're probably comparing yourself to other women, or you might see other people around you getting married, finding the one, having kids, starting a family, all those kind of things. And you're probably thinking, well, why not me? But let me tell you something. When you start taking action, and again, it could be a small action. Again, if you're a 3, do whatever it takes to be a 4. If you're a 1, do whatever it takes to be a 2, okay? If you're a 9, do whatever it takes to be a 10. But when you start taking action, you start not to be so harsh on yourself, because it's one of those things, like Michael Jordan said. What did he say? He said, I can understand failing, but I don't take people not trying. And that's kind of how it is, okay? I can understand. Let me tell you something. When I would coach people, and I'd have them go talk to guys, and they'll be afraid of it, or I'll have them walk up and talk to a guy and they fail miserably. Who cares? They get all freaked out about it. I personally don't care if they fail, they feel like they let me down. You won the battle by going up and actually talking to the person, because 97% of people can't do that. So don't criticize yourself. Just critique. I know I just kind of contradicted myself, but just critique that moment in time in a positive way, where you learn from your lesson and you don't make the same mistake twice, okay? So it's when you're actually taking action, you feel better about yourself and you start critiquing less. Because when you're taking action, you're actually going to see results. So that being said, guys, do those 4 things. You'll stop critiquing yourself, or I hope you would. That's what happened to me. I remember when I was 21, I would sit and dwell over this woman until I actually stood up and, just decided, enough's enough. I'm gonna go better myself. And that's what got me into working out. That's what got me, which I know you can't tell because I'm scrawny as crap. I'm talking about back in the day when I actually weighed another 20, 30 pounds on me. Then I became a long distance runner and stuff, but that's a whole new story. But if you actually take action, you're gonna see results, okay? If you sit there, your mind's only gonna unravel and dwell. With that being said, guys, I love you. Take care. Subscribe, please, if you haven't subscribed. I'll share this, spread the love. I'll see y'all later. Peace.